Good evening. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Wednesday, August the 4th, 2021. And this is Livetalk Diaspora Forum. I'm Jonga Kandemiri.
And I'm Kip Stube in Maryland.
We would like to inform our listeners that because of the coronavirus pandemic, we are not able to give you our usual show, and you will not be able to call in since we are broadcasting from our homes.
This evening, we are discussing COVID-19, rising numbers of people succumbing to COVID-19, new cases, and Zimbabwe's vaccination program.
We are also going to discuss about the ongoing Tokyo Olympics, although Zimbabwe is already out.
And some Zimbabweans in London today held a demonstration at the Zimbabwe embassy in Britain against deportations of Zimbabweans who have been living in Britain.
But first, the health ministry reported yesterday that 41 people died from COVID-19, while 1,580 new cases were recorded countrywide. As at 3 August 2021, Zimbabwe had many confirmed cases, and these include 112,435 and 81,570,000 recoveries and 3,676 deaths. To date, a total of 1,707,671 people have been vaccinated against COVID-19.
And the country is currently under level 4 lockdown, and under this level, schools remain closed.
On the vaccination drive, although the country continues to acquire more vaccines, many people say they are failing to get the jabs due to various reasons.
Last week, Zimbabwe received 1,500,000 Sinopharm vaccines from China, but still the vaccination drive has not reached every corner of the country. Yesterday, the government roped in the army to help in the vaccination program, which started in Bulawayo.
And let's not forget that the country or the government says it needs to have at least 60% of the population, which is 10 million, vaccinated to have a herd immunity. And this is going to involve a lot of efforts from all sectors of the community. And this includes people willing to go and have these vaccinations or these jabs. Ndizvo zvechaizvo Gibbs, nhasi tiri kutarisa nenyaya yedambudziko rechirwere cheCovid-19. Nezuro takanzwa hurumende ichizivisa kuti vanhu vanokwana kuita 41 kana 41 vakawanikwa vaine vakashaya nechirwere cheCovid-19, kuchiti vamwe vanokwana kuita iwo chiuru vakawanikwa vaine utachiwana hunokonzera COVID-19, tingati muchirungu 1,580 chiuru nemazana mashanu nemakumi masere. Kusvika pari zvino vanhu vanokwana kuita zviuru zvitatu nemazana matanhatu ane makumi manomwe nevatanhatu vafa nechirwere ichochi cheCovid-19 kubva zvachatanga kupinda munyika. Uwandu hwevanhu hunosiririsa hwekuti nyika iri kuramba ichirasikirwa nevanhu vari kufa. Chinofanira kunge chingoitwa nevana veZimbabwe kuenda kunobayiwa, kuzvipira kuti iwo pachezvako ungori mumwe wevanhu vari kubatsira mukudzivirirwa kwekupararira kwechirwere ichochi kana denda reCovid-19. Tiri kukurukurawo pamusoro pemaOlympic Games ari kuitirwa kuTokyo kuJapan, kunyange hazvo Zimbabwe yakaburiswa muchirongwa ichochi kana kuti mumakwikwi iyaya. Yanga ine vanhu vaikwikwidza kumitambo yakasiyana siyana vanokwana kuita vashanu, vose vakakundikana, hapana akabudirira. Tichabatawo nyaya yekuratidzira kwatanzwa kuti kwaitwa nhasi pamuzinda weZimbabwe kuBritain uko kuLondon. Vana veZimbabwe, vamwe vana veZimbabwe vari kugunun'una nezvavanoti zviri kuitika muZimbabwe zvekusachengetedzwa kwekodzero dzevanhu nezvimwe zvakadaro, varatidzira ikoko. Inyaya yatichabata-bata tichikurukura pano pachirongwa. Gibbs.
Kunjalo jonga kukhona ngapho ke singazitunjani ngapha ke siyaphila, kodwa ke iCovid-19 khona ngale ke kwele Zimbabwe ikhanya isidla uphedu. Siyabona ukuthi kulabantu abaningi kakhulu abahlaselwa iCovid-19. Izolo kuphela ke kulabantu abafika 41 ababulewe iCovid-19, wathi ke abayi 1,580 abantu abahlolwe batholakala belomkhuhlane lo. Lokhu ke kwethulwa lohlangothi lwezempilakahle. Uhlangothi lolu luyabika njalo ukuthi kulabantu 112,435 asebahlolwa kusukela enyakenye batholakala belegciwane le-COVID-19. Kuthi phakathi kwabantu laba i-81,570 ngabantu asebaphepha kumkhuhlane lo. Kuzobuya-ke nxa sekukhangelwa sibili ngesikhathi esifanayo, uhlangothi lolu luyabika njalo ukuthi kulabantu 3,676 asebabulawa yi-COVID-19. Nxa sekukhangelwa abantu asebejovwe ijekiseni bafika ku-1,707,671. Kuzokuthi-ke labo abangani sebejovwe okwesibili bafika 832,884. So uyaqhubekela phambili-ke ukuyaqhubekela phambili ukuhlatshwa kwabantu amajekiseni atshiyeneyo. Sakwazi ukuthi kweZimbabwe kule Sinovac, kuzobuya iSinopharm lamanye amajekiseni. Enye yakhona ivela kwele Russia kuthiwa iSputnik. Kuzobuya-ke okunye siyakhuluma ngakho i-Olympics, ama-games aqhubekela phambili khona ngale-ke eTokyo kule Japan. Kodwa siyabona-ke ukuthi kuningi okulokhu kusenzakala. Bakhona abanye abanqobayo esibili okumangalisayo. Kulomntwanyana odabuka kwele Namibia, uChristine Mboma, ugijima okunye okumangalisayo. So ugcine wina khona ngale isiliva lokunye sizakhuluma ngakhonokho ngokuya kwesikhathi. Kuzobuya-ke abantu abatshaya itoyitoyi phandle kwe-embassy ye-Britain khona ngale bathi bopijambo bayaqolotsha benza konke. Bathi akumelanga kuxotshwe abantu abadabuka eZimbabwe kulelo lizwe, ngoba bathi okwenzakala kulelo ilizwe eselixotsha abantu babuyela eZimbabwe kulakho ukuthi abanye abantu beZimbabwe babe esenkingeni. So-ke Joka, we also spoke to some people in Bulawayo today about COVID-19, and our correspondent Ezachisa Spanda was in the city. Let's hear some of the things that he was discussing with some people.
Yes. Uthi nungubani izwe lakho?
Hi Ezra, I'm Tariro Magela.
Yebo Tariro, unjani Tariro?
Ngiyaphila, unjani?
Wesaba iCovid ngiyibona ugqokile ufihlile la.
Ngiyayisaba. These days it seems like it's everywhere, so it's safer. It's better to be safe than to be sorry.
So lapho wenzani wena empilweni Tariro, ngihlangana lawe la?
I run my own home-based business.
Yenza le business yakho?
My primary source of income is cakes. I bake.
Uyabheka ama-cake?
Yes.
Khuluma kuhle abantu abanye bayashadisa labatshele nje bomama labobaba labobhuti labosisi abalalele emhlabeni wonke. La nxa kule COVID konje mina ngiyabheka ama-cake ngihambisela izihlobo zenu akubatshele.
Bomama labobaba labakhulayo abakhangelela ukushada.
Ama-birthday yonke into.
Yes, ama-birthday ngiyayenza ama-cakes for birthdays, for weddings, for lobola, even just to indulge and to spoil yourself. So I also have a shop which I...
shop la?
Yes.
Inga?
Autoquip building, Kona 5th Street and 12th Avenue.
Okay. So when ukhanya semncane kangaka lokho okuplana njani kwavela njani ukuthi wezinto ezihle kahle?
I must say for me it happened by coincidence.
Yeah.
I'm an electronic engineer by profession.
How?
But ngangi baker just for eating, for my friends. I didn't know I was actually grooming a
so what wachi degree lo yenza wathi ngcono ngihle ukubheka ama-cake?
Yes.
So abantu abachadayo ngabo ukuxhumana la ula iFacebook?
Yes.
Laba thina siku-view a-Voice of America website esindebeleni. So uthini ebantwini labo ukuthi baku-check-e ngabe bona?
Liyangikhangela ku-Instagram, I'm there as Purple Biko. That's our company name. On Facebook as well, we're there as Purple Biko. And then our contact number for our work line is 0771-809-110.
Okay. But Purple
Biko.
Aha, Purple Biko. Aha.
Yes.
Baphika ama-cake sizake sithestele ikheke lakho. So nanka ama-messages akho ke uthini ebantwini ngale umkhuhlane we-COVID bazivikele njani?
Mina ngithi let's just mask up, let's limit movements. Only move when it is necessary. And also as young business people, umkhuhlane we-COVID lo ulethe a lot of unexpected events. So I say as young businesses, try and think of ways that you can improvise to make your business survive. Even if it means maybe taking your business online, if you're at the shop, something like that.
Yeah.
Think of ways to survive during this period.
Yeah. Dubeke bonke laba online atrabukele abambe basupport wesisinyana ibusiness yakhe. Siyathaba ubona abantwana abasakhula benza amabhizinisi yabo ngama.
So there you are. You know, this young lady is an electronic engineer. Her name is Tariro, and she's in Bulawayo. So she says she's been struggling, yes, like many other people, but it doesn't mean that when you're down, you're out. So she says, of course, COVID is a problem, but she's got innovative ways of doing things. Guess what she's doing now? She's
Baking
baking.
cakes.
Yes.
And she
So-
started by baking for friends.
Yes. Now she's got a big business.
Mhm.
You know, so maybe people are becoming very innovative during this pandemic. So meaning that you know, you can do anything, but as long as you protect yourself, because she's really stressing that people must be very careful. Ukuthi abantu kumele beqaphele jonga. Kunjalo.
Yes, that's true, Gibbs. Ndizvozvo video yatabva kuona ividhiyo yemwana ari kuita zvidovado, ari kubika makeke kumusha kana muguta reBulawayo, Tariro Mageva. Hanzi ndakangotanga ndichiti hangu zvekutandara ndichibikira shamwari nekuti iye akanga akadzidza kana kuti akadzidza zvidzidzo zveelectrical engineering, ndi-engineer, asi vakaona kuti aiwa kana une matarenda akuna kugarira tarenda, ndi-engineer hongu, asi iye zvino vari kubika makeke, ari kupembedza vanhu michato, mapati nepese mabirthday, zvese zvinenge zvichiitwa mutsigirei, ndo vana vanofanira kunge vachitsigirwa kuti vange vachisimuka mune zvavari kuita. Gibbs.
Yes, we also have got another lady here. Let's listen to what she told Ezra Jesus Banda in Bulawayo.
Sisi wenu ngubani?
Mina nguThabani Dale.
Thabani Dale. Hlangana lapho wenzani empilweni?
Mina ngu-managing director we-Artistic Brands. Artistic Brands, we do corporate branding. Corporate branding is when we brand promotional items, clothing, ama-giveaways that companies want to give away to their customers.
So lapho uthi ama-company nxa befuna ukwenza lokho babuya kuwe?
Yes, like for example, I'm just giving an example, PPC. So if they've got their PPC marathon, that's when we come in, we provide the regalia for the marathon and the giveaways, all branded.
So manje kade uzosebenza lokho ngesikhathi lesi esinje secorona kunjani kuyo business?
Kunzima because there is no company that has a budget for advertising and marketing. Yeah.
Right. Sikhangele umkhuhlane wecorona lo unjani? So wabona abantu ngaba ugulayo?
No, I'm so scared to even come in contact, to even leave the house without a mask. So that's why I have my mask on. As you can see, I'm also trying to promote my brand. That's why I'm wearing a branded mask.
So brand yakho company yakho le?
Yes, it's Artistic Brands.
Okay. So wena utshela abantu sifuna ukuthi batshele ngesintu bezwe khona ngalo ukuthi benzeni bayehlatshwa yini abantu?
Yes, abantu kumele bayehlatshwa sibili. Mina, I was one of the first people to go and get vaccinated. Ngenxa yokuthi umkhuhlane lo mkhulu sibili and uyabulala, especially this new variant ayilama symptoms. So it's best to be vaccinated than to be sorry.
Okay, baphindela abantu ukuthi bakuthole ngaphi ungahambi?
Thina Artistic Brands sise-Sunningdale building. That's where we do our branding.
Website or Facebook or la?
Website, we are on artistic-brands.com. That's our website. Facebook, it's Artistic Brands. Twitter, it's Artistic Brands. LinkedIn, it's Artistic Brands.
Bakubhalela lapho then wena uzayenza the rest.
And then I'll do the rest, yeah.
Okay, siyabona.
There's another lady, so she does branding, you know, in a very good manner. You know, she's innovative like the previous one. So what she does is she gets some business here and there, and then brands certain things. Like in marathons, she'll go in there and make your marathon become very attractive to many people. But she says the negative part is not many companies have budgets, you know, for advertising. You know, advertising is a very big industry, but that industry is suffering right now. But she can't just wait and say, okay, there's COVID and that's it, you know. So we are she should be doing something.
Yes, you know, when we were growing up, Gibbs, I remember many companies used to advertise on billboards, stadiums, and everywhere. But that required a lot of money. But now these small companies, they are doing that. I think companies, these big established companies, should take that challenge up and use these companies, these small companies, to advertise and lift them, because we know their charges are less than those from established companies.
We also have a gentleman whose brother actually passed away because of COVID, you know, because COVID is just taking people left, right, and center. So here is one man that spoke to Ezra Chisaspanda today in Bulawayo. Let's hear what he's saying about the death of his brother and COVID-19.
Mnumzana igama mbani?
Mina igama nginguWanda, abanye bangazi nginguThando Nkomazana.
Yebo Nkomazana. Sihlangana lawe lapha ke silokho sibhotabhota la si Studio 7.
Okay.
Sibona ke ukuthi kwenzakalani ngomkhuhlane we-coronavirus. Wahlatshwa yini wena?
Mina ngahle ngaba ngokuqala esizibeni kuthiwa hayi sokuvuliwe ukuthi abantu bonke ordinary people sebengahlaba. Ngahle ngahlaba la kunapho ngathi ngisenza umsebenzi wami ngihamba ngomsebenzi. Ngathola behlaba eCity Council esithi ngahle ngayenza umsebenzi ngaphuma lapho ngahle ngajoyina ilayini ngahlaba.
So wahlatshwa zabambili.
Sengahlatshwa vele ngazombili.
Uzwani emzimbeni?
Ngiqine okomuntu lana onathi umuthi weqolo. Angizwa lutho ngizizwa kuyini sibili. Ngiqine saka.
Yeah. So lapha ke abantu baphela la. Abantu baphelile kulezi insuku uzwani wena?
Yeyi. Abantu abaphelile. Ngingomunye olahlekelwe ngumfowabo, umfirstborn yangekhaya. Mhla ka 7 July. Usithile waye-admitwe lapha eThorn Grove Hospital.
Wayesizwana?
Yena waphunguwa etown, wacollapse nje etown. Kodwa hayi sakwanisa ukuthi simthwalele empilo. Abafika empilo ngale bamtesta. Bathola ukuthi hayi upositive. Base kusithi hayi admithwa ke eThorn Grove.
Ngoba lobunzima unganani umfowenu sesibhedlela ubuhlungu wena wawusenesa ukumbona mbongenelisi.
Yeyi ndoda angaze ngubone okunjeyani. Ngangisesaba kodwa ngathi sibindi ngibeletha. Ngangingomunye wangikhona owayehambe siyambona emphathela ukudla. Sike sithiye ngewindi.
Umbona umuntu ngewindi.
Simlunguza ngewindi sikhatshana sishaye i-distance, social distancing. Yike ngubone khona
elele embhedeni.
Elele embhedeni.
Bamthathela ukudla bayimnika.
Bamthathela ukudla bethi bayamnika. Kukhanya kumehlula futhi lokudla khona ngale. Amanesi bathi bazasala bemncedisa. Unfortunately, ngelanga lesi-8 sezokuthiwa hayi sokwehlulile.
Umfowenu osawuchiyayo.
Umfowenu oswangichiyayo.
Bayafa.
Kube nguye ingqaba ukuthi bayafa abantu abangani. Mina ngikhulele eMpophoma. Empophoma emafletsini ngale patapata abaphelile abafowethu ontanga.
Kambe lezi zinamba esizwayo zikhulunywa ziliqiniso yena umba abantu abaningi abafaya kula lokho inamba ezikhitshwayo.
Mina ngathi ngibona sengubonile fair. Ngibona ngani liqiniso.
Baningi kudlula lokho abantu aba.
Hayi ngibona baningi. There are so many unreported cases.
So there you are, Jonga. This gentleman, Thando Nkomazana, is in Bulawayo. You know, he lives in Popoma, and he says he has heard about so many people that are dying, including his brother. So he says his brother was admitted at Mpilo Hospital and then tested positive for COVID-19, and thereafter he was admitted at Thorn Grove Hospital. And he says the situation was really bad there because the brother was not being visited in that way that people are used to.
In isolation.
That's right. So he used to go by the window, look at him, and then, every day. But he says he was very much afraid of what was going on, And he says, on the 8th day after he was admitted, he passed away. So, but he says there are so many people that he knows who are actually succumbing to COVID-19. So it's really tough, yeah.
And I heard him saying that he believes that the figures that are being flattered by the Minister of Health, they are true figures. Because, I've been talking to some people who are still skeptical and doubting these figures. They are saying, no, they're inflated figures and all that. But people are dying there.
That's right. So he says it's very true because now it has touched him, right on his heart there. So he knows exactly what is going on. So he says, if you doubt about what is going on, then that's another issue, So let's see what we can do right now. Maybe we cross over to this other issue concerning protests in London. There's a lot that is going on there. So right now we know that, people have been protesting, saying, what is happening to some Zimbabweans, they don't like it. So let's see exactly what happened I think we've got a video that was sent by one of the people who was protesting. It is the Restoration for Human Rights Zimbabwe International that are staging this protest. So let's just listen and see what is going on there. There you are, Jonga. So these people are protesting outside the Zimbabwe embassy in Britain. It follows the deportation of 14 Zimbabweans who are said to be criminals. These people, some of them actually served their time in prison, but the British government, according to the Home Office, they are supposed to be doing some of these things because the laws of the country demand that if a foreigner commits a crime, that person is supposed to be deported. So they deported 14 out of 100 that were targeted, and were told that at one of the detention centers near Heathrow Airport, there was an issue of the COVID-19 outbreak, and some of the people actually contested their deportations, and in the last minute, they were pulled out of a chartered plane. So this is happening at a time when there are other cases that are being adjudicated, and maybe some people are going to be deported very, very soon. But players are determined that no, they are going to prevent all this. So that's what is happening right now there. Jonga?
Yes, but Gibbs, even in Zimbabwe, criminals are deported. And even here in the United States, if you're a criminal, you commit a crime, you serve your time in the jails here, in prisons, they deport you after that. And this issue of deportation of these 14 people, these 14 Zimbabweans, has divided opinions, Zimbabweans' opinions, because I've seen, especially on social media, that there are some who are feeling sorry for these deported people, but also some are countering them, saying, what about those people that they wronged? Like one who murdered, who is said to have murdered his wife, and some who allegedly have committed rapes and all that. So it's a very, very serious issue. And I understand some of the organizations in representing Zimbabweans in the United Kingdom, some have openly said that they are not going to demonstrate in support of these or against these deportations because of those issues or those feelings that what will happen to those that were wronged.
Yes, and according to the Herald newspaper and the ZPC, all the people that were deported, for one, have actually been rejoined with their families. But one person is saying that he does not even remember
where he was staying.
That's right.
I think the issue
because this
is
is an elderly person who has been in London for many years.
20 something years.
Yes. So he says, he has nowhere to go. So he was asking for the government to give him a few coins to just walk around the city center, and that's it. But but at the end of the day, we don't know what is going to happen. So there's Edgar Makuni of the MDC Alliance in London, who also joined the protests. Let's hear what he said about this.
Rules, laws, and regulations whereby the offense is set the time. And it might be prudent for people who have been involved in crime to be removed from the country. But where are they going to is the question. If you call them criminals, fair enough. But if you move criminals to other criminals, how does it help? We have got no sanctuary where we are being taken to. So we are saying, yes, you might have offended, you might have committed crime here and there, but does that warrant a death sentence in its own right? They are taking us to a place where our security is not guaranteed. So we are saying, make us save time, but don't give us a death sentence. Having said that, that's a tiny minority of people who have committed crime. In any society, people commit crime. Now we are now talking about people who are hardworking, who are very resourceful, who strive to put food on the table, and that's all they do. And these are the people who are here. These are people who have been working hard for their families. All they are trying is to survive. They might not have escaped where they came from in a manner that might prove to the authorities that they are at risk. But that shouldn't be a punishment. I think it is only fair for the authorities in this country to hear and revisit the position that they have taken. I don't think people who have immigration issues in this country, who have come from Zimbabwe, are justified to be removed and taken back to Zimbabwe. They have got families here. Most, if not all of us, have been in this country for not less than 15 years. We have established ourselves in this country. We have worked hard. For those who have been given the right to work, we have worked our socks off. For those who are documented as Zimbabweans, go to the NHS. We compete with the Filipinos in structurally putting the NHS in place. That's who we are.
There we are now, Tonga. I think you have heard what the gentleman is saying there. So, in essence, he's saying that, some people, well, they can be deported, but he says the government that is in power in Zimbabwe is not the proper government to actually receive some of these people. So, that's the issue, Lapoge. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Gibbs, I couldn't hear anything of what the guy was saying.
Yeah, so exactly
what happened from this side.
Yeah, okay. What we're saying is, these people can be deported, yes. They could have committed crimes, but at the end of the day, the Mnangagwa government is not the proper government to actually hang anybody who comes from Britain, because in most cases, that government is there, illegally, and he says they violate human rights, so they don't have a right actually to be accepting or talking with the British government in terms of these deportations. So he's saying they must stop. The British government must stop doing this, and that's why they were protesting outside the Zimbabwe embassy in London.
Asi Gibbs, ndinoona kuti nyaya iyoyi yekudzoswa kumusha kwevanhu vari kunzi vanenge vaparadze mhosva vagara mumajeri kuBritain vozodzoserwa kumusha, handifunga kuti nyaya inofanira kunge ichiiswa zvematongerwo enyika, nokuti kana uri munhu wapara mhosva, if you have committed a crime, this has nothing to do with politics. This should be treated as a criminal case, just that, because we have seen Zimbabwe deporting people there.
Let's hear from Dr. Simba Mabaza of ZANU-PF what he's saying about this issue. Dr. Mabaza, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gibbs. Thanks, Jonga. Actually, the point you must understand here, Gibbs, is that demonstrations at the embassy do not help at all, because the embassy is not the one deporting people. People are being deported by the British government, and therefore the embassy, its job is only to verify that the people you are deporting are indeed Zimbabweans. So in any case, the embassy only verifies nationality. So whether it's an asylum seeker or none, as long as you commit a crime, you will be deported, regardless of what you have done. And then the British have an embassy in Zimbabwe. The British embassy in Zimbabwe, they know what is on the ground. They understand what is happening government to government. So they understand what is happening as far as the human rights are concerned. They know the situation on the ground. So deportation is not meant by nature to be rewarded. But these Zimbabweans who are being deported are given money for going to Zimbabwe, £2,000 each, which is far more than the salary of a teacher for 4 months. So they are actually given a kickstart. We cannot reward criminals who are actually being taken home. Again, I want you to understand one thing about today's demonstration, Dube. It was led by a white guy called John Beck. John Beck comes from an organization called ROA, that is a Restoration of Human Rights Organization of Zimbabwe. So John Beck makes money by sourcing for funds, pretending to be fighting for the Zimbabwean human rights. So this type of demonstrations to him, it is a tick in the box. It is actually saying, I've done something, can you pay for our cause? And that money goes to his pocket. And none of those 20 people who were there, for information, there were only 20 people who attended that demonstration. Again, you'll see that these people are making money out of these demonstrations. But the reality of the matter is that, one, this is not a political issue. It has nothing to do with whether the government is believed to be legitimate by MDC or not. We've got a group of political parties who have accepted that the Zimbabwean government is the legitimate one. And therefore, it is not a nature of the government. It is actually the purpose of a country. If somebody is deported and he was a criminal, it is your duty as the mother country to receive your child, whether he was a criminal. For example, if your daughter becomes a prostitute and goes out to the pub and everywhere, when she comes back home, you receive her home, whether you like what she has done or not. Home remains home. So Zimbabwean government has done the best thing to receive these people, host them, and even look after them during the quarantine. In Zimbabwe, a quarantine is supposed to pay for your quarantine, but these ones were quarantined for free, provided for by the Zimbabwean government, and then reunited with their families, except one person, if you had known, who said he left Zimbabwe when he was 2, and he has stayed in England for over 28 years. But the question is, naturally by nature, if you are in England for 10 years, when you are there legally, you become British. You have to apply for British. Why this man did not apply for British? It answers a lot, because he spent his time in prison. Most of his time, the moment he became 18, he has been in prison until he's 53. So that man is a serial offender, and he has come back home. And again, obviously, his relatives might not be willing to meet him. There is no way, Dube and Jonga, we all come from Zimbabwe. There is no way you can tell me you don't know where your home is because you left home as Zimbabwe when it was late. If you're communicating with your people, you would at least know that if you are called Mavaza, you are from this area, you are from this village. And you can look for that on that basis. So therefore, yes, it could be a reason, or it could be shame that she can't go there, or he can't go back to his village. But one thing,
before maybe you go any further, let's listen to this raw gentleman talking about exactly what you are talking about. Maybe is clearer in terms of what they are doing there than the way you are putting it. Just hold on 1 second. I'll just play the role.
My name is John Burke from the Zimbabwean Human Rights Organisation. We're here at the moment outside the Zimbabwean Embassy in London on Wednesday the 4th of August to demonstrate against mass deportations, that the Home Office have got it into their minds that will be a sensible idea to deport 100 Zimbabweans every month. Now apparently there's been a secret deal done with the embassy in Harare, the British embassy in Harare and ZANU-PF, and one suspects they're going to have a per head payment, sort of blood money really, and it's an obscenity to me. They cannot possibly in the Home Office have created that many criminals. There are certainly not that many criminals in the Zimbabwean diaspora. To accuse us, which we have been via Preti Patel in the Home Office, that we're only criminals will be deported is a lie. it's a tissue of lies. We're gaining statistics now from those in the diaspora to find out exactly what percentage are criminals, and it's initially looking very tiny. Less than 1% appear to be criminals. The rest have fallen foul of the asylum process, that complex system that we have in this country of trying to stop people gain asylum by administration. It's death by administration, death by the civil service, and you have to pay for the privilege. You have to pay to sign on. You have to pay for everything in the process. You have to have lawyers. You have to escape with your life with evidence, photographs, affidavits. It is pure madness. There is no empathy anymore. There are no human beings in the civil service in the Home Office in the UK at the moment. They've all retired, and to me it's insanity what is happening in our government in the UK, and it's simply mirroring ZANU-PF. I cannot believe what is going on with this Conservative government. They've been mixing with ZANU-PF far too long, and they've picked up too many traits in what to do with these people. Thank you.
So there you are, Jonga. I think you can hear what this gentleman is saying. He says, there is a lot, of some kind of underhand dealings, between the Zimbabwean government and the British government, and all this is dirty money somehow, So one Jalo.
Can you identify him?
This guy is the one that Mabaza.
That's Mr. John Beck.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ndokugona kuisa mvunzo kuna vamavhaza kana vamavhaza vanga vachiteerera. Vamavhaza tanzwa vaJohn Beck vachitaura kuti pane kahurongwa kakaitwa kekuseru kwaka secret deal pakati peZANU-PF nemuzinda weBritain muHarare, wekuti vanenge vachitsvaga upoteri vaya muLondon kana kuti muBritain vange vachidzoserwa kumba, zvikuru vanenge vari vemapato anenge achipikisa ndo vanenge vachidzoserwa kumusha, vozongonyeperwa kunzi vanenge vaparadza mhosva. Paongororo yavari kuti vakaita vakaona kuti chikamu chimwe chete kubva muzana kana kuti 1% yevanhu vari kudzoserwa ndo vanodaro vanenge vane mhosva dzavakapara, asi ruzhinji vanhu vanga vachitsvaga upoteri. Munoti Vamavhaza? Vamavhaza anofunga vari pamute.
Yeah, he's going ahead.
Okay.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Right, that guy is a shameless liar. I'll be very clear on that arrangement. If you look at it, most people, whenever they commit crimes, when they are about to be deported, they then come up and claim to be members of the MDC so that they will not be deported. They will seek asylum at the last minute. That does not make them members of the MDC. Number two, the arrangement which was there, Zimbabwean government did not make an arrangement. The British government requested the Zimbabwean government under the protocol, diplomatic protocol, could we have got your people who have committed crimes? We need to deport them, but we want you to verify whether they are your people, because you can't deport those who are not your people, which was more reasonable. Unlike other countries, South Africa will just dump you at the border. These have to dump you they have to take you to the airport, take you to a place and take you to your relatives and get united with them. There is no deal between Zimbabwe and England to deal with the deportees. So it is a lie, and actually whoever was saying that is supposed to substantiate his unfounded lies. There is no reason why the MDC members in England, who are not even more than, to be honest with you, they are not even more than 5,000. They cannot even help us back in Zimbabwe. They can't even if they all come to vote, they won't upset ZANU-PF. They have nothing to offer when they go back to Zimbabwe. So there's no need Zimbabwe can go to that strength of actually making a diplomatic embarrassment of having a deal to say, can you bring those Zimbabwean people here? In other words, this guy is actually insulting the British democracy to say they're not democratic. But these guys are mere criminals. They are not politicians. We've got people here, the politicians who are here, who are hiding because of politics, and they've not been deported. We've got so many of them who are here. Those who are deported are people with no visa. They've gone to court and they've been refused their visa, and they've been to prison, not because they are MDC. Britain is not an extension of Zimbabwean government. So it is not true to say those criminals. I'll tell you, Jonga Gibbs, there is a man there who killed his wife and cut her into pieces. Was that? And I agree, he's an MDC member because he loves blood. There's another man there who killed his wife by stabbing him 3 times. And I was arrested in London. He's amongst the deportees. Of those deportees, the 14 deportees, 10 have committed serious crimes, which includes murder and rape, and 4 have done frauds. And then, how can anybody say those are political people? This is an insult to democracy itself. I think they should be ashamed.
But if you listen to what Edgar Makoni is saying here, maybe you may have a change of heart. Just 1 second, listen to what he's saying.
Can you say what he's saying? Because I can't hear you.
Structurally putting the NHS in place. That's who we are as Zimbabweans. We are saying, please, whoever make the decisions regarding our immigration issues, they need to be sympathetic with us. Furthermore, Zimbabwe has got a unique relationship with this country. Zimbabwe is the last African country to gain independence from the British, which means we have had a long relationship with the British.
That's right.
What we are saying is, we have had a lot of British people coming to Zimbabwe. They've taught us in our mission schools. We have developed a relationship with them. So what are we saying? Are we going to break that relationship merely because of overnight? You see what I'm saying? So what we are saying is we are appealing to the British people. You've got the right to hear that we are not criminals, as we have been labeled. But you've got the right to support people whom you feel don't fit in your society. But have you done a due diligence to see and establish that where you are taking people to are safe? The 14 people who have been taken to Zimbabwe on the 21st, they were not necessarily activists. They were involved in one thing or another, but they were not activists. And the Zimbabwean government doesn't care about them. It is us who are activists that they are waiting for. The people who have been standing on pedestal rocks and telling the world that the Zimbabwean government is wrong. It's us. And the treatment that we are going to get when we get to Zimbabwe is different from the 14. Yeah. So we are saying the game has changed a bit. The pact that was put together between the British High Commissioner in Harare and the Zimbabwean government says they are going to remove foreign national offenders. But then when they are done...
Here we are, Jonga. I think you are hearing what this gentleman is saying. Is Edgar Makoni. So he says there's more here than meets the eye. So he says there's a lot. So people must be very careful about what is going on. Because initially they will target criminals and thereafter target those people that have got some issues with the immigration papers and stuff like that. So he's not happy about what is going on.
Ndanzwa achitsanangura Gibbs kuti treatment kana mabatirwo akaitwa vanhu 14 avo 10 nevana vakadzoserwa kumusha akasiyana nemabatirwo anenge achiitwa vari pamuzinda apo vari kuratidzira vakanga varivo vadzoserwa kumusha. Hanzi the treatment is different. Also vataura nyaya yekuti ukama hweZimbabwe neBritain hunobvira kure. Hanzi Zimbabwe ndo nyika yekupedzisira kunyika dziri pasi peutongo hweBritain kuwana rusununguko, zvichireva kuti Britain kuramba yakabatirira paZimbabwe kwayanga ichiita zvine zvinoreva kuti ine zvainoda paZimbabwe. Saka inoedza nenzira dzakasiyana siyana kuti irambe ine ukama neZimbabwe kuburikidza nekuwirirana kwavari kuti kuri kuitwa nehurumende kunenge kwarambwa navamavhaza kuti hapana zvakadaro. Asi nyaya hombe iripo, mukoma Andrew vati Makoni vabvuma ivo kuti vari kudzoserwa kumusha vasina activists. Hanzi they are not activists, vanhu vane nyaya dzavo. Asi the fact yokungoti vanhu vari kudzoserwa kumusha ndo matangira azvinoita kusvika zvasvika kune vanenge vaitsvaga upoteri. Gibbs.
So that is Edgar Makoni saying a lot of things there. Then we've got a lady who was actually at the demonstrations or who was part of the protest. Let's hear what she said about what is going on here.
Salibonani Mahlabezulu. Igama lami nginguNontokozo Malabancube. Ngimele iRaw Zimbabwe eyama human rights. Yikho ke ngingu-chairman, vice chairman we-Manchester branch. Size lapha namhlanje singama-Zimbabweans lapha e-Diaspora e-United Kingdom. Size e-Zimbabwe Embassy ukuzolwela ke abantu beZimbabwe akuthiwa abadephotiweyo ke bayiswa ekhaya eZimbabwe. Yikho ke thina size singumhlambi singusihlanganele